there, it's Dr. Lisa and Dr. Britt.
Hi guys.
And we're live at Errol Street Chiropractic. And if you suffer from stress or anxiety, then you might want to stick around because we have got a posture that will actually make that worse.
Yes,
so if you are interested in finding out, then do stick around because we're going to go through some really, really interesting information because there's a lot of information out there about good posture and exercises to help posture, but what's really different about today is that we really need you to understand why, because then you'll actually be more motivated to do the right things in terms of your posture, because it's not just, sit up or whatever. There's actually a really, really important reason, and this posture will definitely aggravate that stress and that anxiety. So good for you, but also good for those grumpy people around you.
Definitely.
And grumpy teenagers. So you might just want to listen up.
Yeah.
All right, Dr. Britt. So tell us about that posture.
Okay. So today we're just kind of looking at, what that cycle of posture and stress and how it just becomes that vicious cycle that's really hard to break. The more stressed you get, the worse your posture gets, the worse your posture is. It really stops you from getting through that stressful situation as well. So that posture that we're looking at is that posture that comes on when our body's in that really chronic stress state. It's that hunch, that rolling forward, as Dr. Lisa's doing, where your shoulders roll forward, our upper body hunches forward, our head comes forward. So it's just that whole kind of flexion of our upper body. And it's that response that our body does because in that point in time when we are stressed, we don't care about anything else than just getting through that stressful situation. And these muscles all fire at the front of our chest to help us kind of,
get ready to run.
Yeah, to run. Yeah.
Even though there's nothing chasing us,
Yeah.
it's the same response as if a tiger is, after you. So same stress response.
Yeah, and that's that response that comes on if you're sitting at your desk at work and you're just feeling overwhelmed with the amount of work that you've got to do. Just that body comes forward when you're trying to deal with everything. It's the same as if you're at home and you've got the kids all yelling. It's that body wants to just roll forward, and it's just that response that our body does without us even thinking when we are feeling really stressed. But it's that thing that, how do you break that cycle when you've constantly got these stresses going on in life? When does that cycle get broken, and when do you become a bit more aware of what your body's doing and how your posture actually is day to day?
And I think that is the key though.
Yeah.
Awareness is the key.
Yeah.
So if you have that in your mind and you do teach yourself to become aware, then you've got a greater chance of helping yourself. Because if you can kind of catch that posture and not stay in that posture for too long, then you won't be setting off that whole physiological effect of being in that stress mode.
Yeah, because that change in posture is just the start of all those trickling effects that happen to your body when you are stressed as well. There's a really good study that I just came across actually, which had a big group of participants, and they had half of them in an upright posture and the other half in a slump posture. And these participants were put in as the scenario that could be stressful, and it was looked at how their body and their brain react when they're in those varying postures and they're dealt with a stressful situation. And it was really interesting to see that those participants that were in that more upright posture actually dealt with that stressful situation a lot better. They were able to get through it a lot easier. They came out with more positive mindset, and just generally people who are in a positive in an upright position actually have a lot more positive resilience, more positive thoughts flowing through their body. They're a little bit less self-focused, so they're not as self-conscious about what they're doing, who they are. Like they're just they're resilient. Like it just creates a lot more flow of energy through the body as well.
And really, if you think of a person who is down or a bit flat and stressed. Well, just imagine what kind of posture they'd be in. They would just be in that sort of slump posture. And on the other hand, if you imagine someone laughing and happy, and you don't imagine them in that posture, you actually imagine them more upright anyway, don't you?
And it was a good take-home thing I took from that was how powerful, if you are feeling stressed, just to stop and just pull their shoulders back, take a breath, and just see what that can do to your actual mindset as well. I think it was a great study just to show that just a little change in that posture can actually help, try and break that, it won't, cure that stressful situation, but it might just help you actually get through it a little bit easier and come out on the other side feeling a bit better as well.
And stresses don't just happen, perhaps once a day. There may be a few things. It could be the traffic, it could be work, it could be the kids, it could be relationships, it could be the bank. So if you can assume that better posture, you will actually be more resilient through your day and not really be stressing that body, because when we're in that slump posture, then we are setting off blood pressure, we are setting off, increased blood sugars, we are setting off a whole bunch of stuff. And you've got to think about how much of the day are you over your computer or your laptop or driving. So if we can just be aware of that, we're really going to be feeling stronger and just be able to cope with that day a lot better.
It's just trying to find ways to break that cycle, I think.
Exactly.
And until you do that, it just continues to just go round in circles.
Round and round.
So what are we holding this balloon?
Why am I holding this therapy? Thanks for joining, guys.
Thank you. Hello. So I think the big thing is, firstly, acknowledge that you are stressed and find out what it is that is causing you to be stressed, and put in place a couple of things that can help you deal with it. So that's probably the first thing, but then working on your posture is essential to help you deal with that stress. So this balloon is a bit of an analogy. So a great way of just reminding yourself to have that upright posture is, imagine that you've got a hook in your chest and you've got a balloon attached to string sitting at your chest. So if I'm pulling forward, that balloon is going to come down. But if I'm sitting nice and straight, it's almost like that balloon's pulling me up and it's bringing my chest forward and my shoulders out. So just imagine you've got that balloon pulling you up and creating that nice upright posture. It's just a nice way to think about it. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't, but it's just a nice way to think, draw that balloon up and draw that chest out.
It's a really nice, think of it as an elongation.
Yeah, just drawing your body nice and straight.
Yeah.
So that's a good one. So if you think about upright posture, think about me with my balloon, think about me drawing my chest up and just elongating that upper body as well. Cool. So
or you can, if you're a diver, we've got a patient who's a diver, and he said, well, can I imagine it's a boy and I'm, underwater? I said, you can imagine he's a boy. That's absolutely. And the other thing is that when I give this one to people, I say, well, ask me how many times I need to think about this in the day. And they're going to go, all right, well, how many times do I need to do this in the day? And I said 200. Yeah. Because you need to think about this often, not just once a day.
Oh, no, it should be that thing that, every half an hour you're moving from your desk. It's just that every time it should be even more than that, really.
More than 2 hours. I thought I was tough. Dr. Britt's tougher.
Every second.
Often.
And I guess the other thing then is working on, if you're working in an office or you work from home, just making sure you've got a really good desk setup. We say this probably 200 times a day to our patients, but making sure you've got a good ergonomic setup at home is really important as well to help you keep that upright posture. So making sure that you've either got the opportunity to sit and stand throughout your day with a sit-stand desk, but if you are sitting, just making sure that you're getting up and moving regularly, and having your monitor, and also work from a monitor if you can, because that way you can keep it at a nice neutral head level. Laptops are hard because you can't
no
bring them.
laptops on the couch, people.
Yes, or the bed.
Do you know what I say to them? Just imagine your chiropractor sitting on the couch and you're trying to do that work on the couch, and it's like,
not impressed. But yeah, good ergonomics at work and at home is really important as well. Also, your posture pole, which we spoke about in a previous video a couple of weeks ago, that's a really good tool to have at home just to help you with that posture. But also, it's a good tool to have if you are just, having a day where it's just been hectic, you're feeling a bit overwhelmed, stressed. Go home and lie on that posture pole, and that's a nice way of, having that upright posture while you're lying down and just, doing some breathing as well.
Yeah, some mindfulness.
Yeah. The other thing is really just looking, especially if you are quite stressed, and you're exercising a lot, which is great. It's good to be moving and just getting that body doing something a bit differently and getting those endorphins pumping, but it's also just good to be wary of what you're working when you're at the gym. So if you are feeling like your body has been in that sympathetic dominant state for quite a while, we actually suggest that you do a bit more stretching through the front of your chest, and do more strengthening exercises through the back, so through your shoulder blades and your scapulars, through this area here. So a lot of us are going to the gym, we're pumping weights through the front of our body, but that's actually winding up that stress response and those tight muscles that have already been tightened through that chronic stress response that you've had all day. So we actually just recommend that you do a little bit more strengthening through the back and more stretching through the front as well. So a good one is what Lisa's doing, the resistance bands. You can do a great workout with them, especially if you're at the gym. Go and talk to the PT there and say, I just want to do a bit more back strengthening, and that can give you a great array of exercise that you actually still feel like you're getting a lot out of. The other one is lying on the ground doing your Supermans, where you're on your tummy and you're lifting your chest and your head up off the ground. That's a really great one for getting some muscle activation.
One too.
Yeah.
If you just pop your elbows on the ground, just gentle.
That's a good one. Yeah. And then stretching the front of your chest. So stretching through doing the doorway pec stretch and just pulling back and stretching through that. And you can really stretch your pecs at all different levels. So you can change the variation of where your hands sit in the doorway. And just stretching through your legs and everything as well. So your calves, your hamstrings, they're really important areas just to be working on to keep that whole balance through your body.
Yeah, those muscles that kick in that fight or flight response are your pecs and your calves and your hamstrings. So you really want to make sure that we're stretching those areas there. Yeah. So great advice, Dr. Brett, and it's definitely something that people need to be aware of when they are exercising, not to wind that mind up again. And if you want a bit more information about that sympathetic dominance, our last couple of videos, which are on Facebook or Instagram, on IGTV, so you can really grab, or on our website as well, we've got them there too. So they're really, really useful bits of information. And a lot of this is also, you can refer to a book by Wayne Todd called the SD Protocol, which is a great reference book, and it's got the fabulous protocol in there.
It's very good.
We love the book. We love Wayne.
I actually took myself out for a coffee on Monday, and I sat and read the book, and I was thinking, I might have to get back into this. I was resonating with a few things on there. So it's not, it's everybody can relate to some aspect of it. It doesn't matter how well you look after yourself. There's always something that pops up in our daily life. So it's good to just, hold yourself accountable and remember that, life can get stressful. So it's good just to be putting in place some of those things.
And we were literally having this conversation yesterday, and I said to Dr. Britt, look, we love sharing information with you guys, but it's also, we're a bit selfish because it is actually for us as well, because they're fabulous.
So much out of it.
They're fabulous reminders for us. But one bit of research I want to go through just really, really quickly, and this is a chirobiophysics research that has just come out in March this year, and it was published in Gait and Posture, which is a very highly regarded paper, or journal I should say. And the paper was about that forward head carriage. And what they found, and it was a very unique piece of research, because they actually found that when we're in that fight or flight, head forward, what it does is they found that it actually sets off our sympathetic or our fight or flight response in our brain. So it has a whole body physiological effect. So we are not just saying sit up because that's what our grandmothers always used to say. It has a positive physiological on a cellular level in that body all throughout that. When you are upright, again, it's not going to fix all your problems, but it'll actually help you to be more resilient with that research. And there's plenty more research papers out there that will help. So lots to do. And what it reminds me of, Dr. Britt, is that being healthy, there's effort.
Yeah, it takes work.
It takes a bit of work, so it doesn't just happen automatically.
And
we do
health
need to be aware.
has many different scopes. Your physical health, your mental health.
That's right.
Yeah. So
your emotional, all of that. So we're here to help, guys. So
I have one more tip.
One more tip.
Chiropractic adjustments are an important part of breaking that stress and posture cycle. So there's so much research now showing the positive effect that our chiropractic work actually has on that brain and body connection and getting that nervous system flowing and sending messages to and from the brain. So if you're in that slump position, how are you getting those messages to your brain and getting that rest of your body functioning properly? So beautiful research that is continuing to come out. So that is a big important part.
I nearly forgot about the most important thing.
It was on the tip of my mouth. I was like, we'll say it at the end. Just
but
to
also
drive
being in that poor posture, sometimes people get really stuck, physically stuck.
Terrible feeling.
They just need to get that work to open up. So yeah, lots of information there, guys. So I hope any more, Dr. Britt?
I think that's it for now. If you want more information, I think let us know if there's something that we haven't covered for you, then we can have a chat further.
But check out our last videos too.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Oh, I've just hit the table. I've just sorry.
That scared me. It's an electric table.
I think
you
better
turn it off.
You better go and do your
I'm in a fight or flight
exercises.
response now.
That was just an example of our fight or flight response. All right, guys. Well, thank you.
Turn the
That
table
was
off.
not. That wasn't intentional. Sorry, Dr. You're okay.
I'm fine.
All right. Well, guys, thank you for watching. Thanks for listening. And any messages or need to talk to us, just message us, call us. We are here to help.
We are.
Take care. Bye, everyone.
See you guys.
Thanks.
That's hilarious.